Ever wondered what it really takes to earn that glittering tiara and walk in the glass slippers of a Disney princess? Spoiler alert, it's way more than just slipping on a gown and learning how to twirl. After years of exploring the parks, chatting with cast members, and even auditioning myself, well, not really, I've uncovered some wild and weird requirements that most fans don't know about. In this video, I'm breaking down 7 surprisingly strange rules that every Disney princess performer has to follow. We're talking heights, secrets, smiles, and signatures, with some juicy insider stories sprinkled in. Stick around because missing even one of these could quietly ruin your dream of working in the kingdom. And I don't want that to happen. Let's dive in. Number 1. The height and size conundrum. We all know that Snow White, Cinderella, and Jasmine look very different on film, but I bet you didn't know there's a literal tape measure involved in deciding who gets to wear those ball gowns. Disney costuming is built around very specific molds, and if you don't fit within the narrow window they've set, you're out. According to a former audition applicant, most princess roles require performers to be between 5 foot 4 inches and 5 foot 7 inches tall. That's not very flexible. That's because the costumes are pre-made to match the film proportions, and there's simply no time or budget to tailor bespoke gowns for each actress. Even stranger, the largest princess costume size available is a size 10. Imagine going through months of acting and dance training, nailing the accent, and then being told your size takes you out of the running. I remember talking to a friend who auditioned for Rapunzel. She's a fantastic singer, dancer, and has the perfect sunny disposition, but she's just under 5'3", and she was told to try for a fairy instead. You know, those petite characters like Tinkerbell or Rosetta. She laughed it off, but inside, she was heartbroken. It felt like a strange reversal of Hollywood, where sets adapt to actors. Here you have to adapt to the costume. The reasoning, Disney says, is all about character integrity. They want each princess to look like she just stepped out of the film, not a cosplay version. So if you're thinking of auditioning, do yourself a favor and check the height chart before you fall in love with a character you physically can't play. On top of the height, there's an age window. You need to be at least 18 years old to audition, but most successful princesses are between 18 and 23 years old. It's rare to see a princess over 27 because the company wants youthful faces that match the animated characters. Now, of course, there are exceptions for long-term performers, but the cutoff is there, and it can feel oddly restrictive for such a magical job. Disney doesn't want anything that breaks the illusion. Many performers use heavy makeup or strategically placed costume pieces to hide a small tattoo, but there are some things that even stage makeup can't cover. So you've checked the tape measure and passed the age test? You're ready to tell the world you're the next Ariel or Belle, right? Well, not so fast. What happens inside the castle stays inside the castle. Number 2. The Secret Identity Pact. Welcome to the Disney Witness Protection Program. Just kidding, kind of. One of the most surprising rules is that princess performers are forbidden from revealing who they play. You can't post it on social media, you can't tell friends over coffee, and you definitely can't blog about it. Disney is fiercely protective of its characters, and they believe that a child's experience should be seamless. If a 6-year-old meets Rapunzel in Magic Kingdom in the morning and sees a TikTok of that same performer complaining about wig glue that night, the magic is shattered. A performer I spoke with told me that even her family didn't know exactly which character she portrayed. When relatives visited the park, she had to coordinate with supervisors to make sure she was scheduled in another land. It sounds extreme, but Disney is serious about preserving the illusion. If a cast member violates this rule, it's grounds for immediate dismissal. So if you thought your new job would make great for social media content, think again. You'll get to wear the ball gown, but your Instagram feed will remain suspiciously tiara-free. The secrecy extends to audition stories too. Disney instructs prospective performers not to share audition details in public groups or forums. Why? Because they don't want unauthorized how-to guides floating around. Every audition is slightly different, and part of the process is seeing how you react when thrown into an improvisation or dance on the spot. If your friend tries to share specific choreography or lines with you, politely decline. It can harm both of your chances. Keeping secrets might sound straightforward, but living a double life is harder than it seems. Wait until you hear what else you can't show. Number 3. No tattoos, scars, or individuality allowed. In a world where self-expression is celebrated, Disney's princess performers operate under different rules. No visible tattoos, scars, or birthmarks are permitted. If you have a small tattoo on your wrist, you might be asked to cover it with heavy makeup or wear long sleeves, even in the summer heat. Larger tattoos? Those can be a deal breaker because they could peek out during a meet and greet and ruin the fantasy for a child who expects Cinderella to have flawless skin. Likewise, unusual piercings or dyed hair are a no-go. Disney is known for its Disney look, a set of grooming guidelines that applies to all cast members. For princess performers, the standards are even tighter. This rule also covers birthmarks and scars. One cast member told BuzzFeed that some princess hopefuls were passed over because a childhood scar looked too prominent, and there wasn't an easy way to hide it without thick makeup. It might sound harsh, but Disney's priority is to maintain the consistency of each character's appearance. Every Snow White needs to look like the same Snow White from every other park every day of the year. If you're thinking, I can just get laser removal, please know that it's a painful and expensive process. A friend of mine considered removing her small ankle tattoo because she dreamt of being Belle. Eventually, she decided it wasn't worth it. She auditioned for a costumed character instead. The furry roles are more forgiving because you're under a head or fursuit. That might be a better path for those of us who have lived a little and have the ink to prove it. You've trimmed, toned, and covered everything you can. Think you're ready for the spotlight? Not yet. Disney will turn you into the character with intense training that's almost like a boot camp for princesses. So far, we've covered body measurements, secrets, and the no tattoos rule, but those are just the warm-up. The next requirement involves an intense immersion that can make or break your vocal cords. Ready to go deeper? Let's continue. Number 4. Boot Camp for Royals. Voice and mannerism training. One of the most intense and honestly, weirdly specific parts of becoming a Disney princess is the dialect and movement training. When you're cast, you don't just get handed a script and a wig. You go through 2 weeks of intensive training to study the film, memorize mannerisms, and nail the accent. For characters with distinct accents like Mary Poppins or Princess Aurora, there's a separate day of dialect training. Even American actors have to alter their voices to match the youthful, cheerful tone we hear on screen. One performer explained that most princesses' voices are pitched higher than a normal speaking voice. The pitch is so high that some performers have to go on vocal rest after a long day of meet and greets because their vocal cords are exhausted. During training, you watch your character's movie on repeat. You practice the way they move their hands, hold their heads, and even blink. Teachers correct the angle of your elbow when you wave so it matches the on-screen princess. It sounds ridiculous, but the consistency matters. A guest shouldn't notice a difference between Belle at breakfast and Belle at the parade. In one training story, a new Snow White kept accidentally adopting Belle's posture because she had played Belle in a community theater production. Her trainer would pause the session, replay a scene, and ask her to mimic it again until the muscle memory stuck. And it's not just about the walking and talking. Some princesses need to dance in parades or stage shows, which means learning choreography on top of everything else. You might be perfect for Ariel, but end up training as Pocahontas if there's more demand for that character. Disney's needs trump your preferences, so flexibility is key. They're looking for performers who can adapt quickly and maintain energy through 30 minutes of choreography under a heavy wig. It's a lot more athletic than it looks, which brings us nicely to our next point. You've got the moves, the voice, and the perfect posture. Now, you need to look identical to every other performer in that costume, down to the lipstick shade. Number 5. Makeup, wigs, and costume consistency. Imagine showing up to work and being told exactly how to apply eyeliner. what color blush to use, and even which mascara is approved. Disney's princesses don't just slap on some glitter, they follow a precise makeup formula. A professional cosmetologist teaches you the exact placement of blush, the correct shape of the lip line, and the specific shades for your character. The goal is to create a clean beauty look because most animated princesses are supposed to be teenagers. Heavy contouring or dramatic lashes would stand out, so the guidelines are strict. The training extends to wigs. Almost every princess wears a wig, even characters with updos. Performers are taught how to secure and maintain them, but there's also a dedicated wig shop where stylists clean and style wigs every 2 days. Full-time performers get their own wig, while part-time princesses use sub-wigs that are washed before each shift. If that sounds like a lot of hair, it is. One former Tinkerbell performer confessed that her wig was so tight and itchy that at first it gave her headaches. Over time, she learned to pin it on quickly and ignore the itch. The costume process is also meticulous. When performers arrive backstage, they change into company-issued bloomers and V-necks before they even pick up their dress. Every gown is tagged with a barcode so Disney can track its location and ensure it never leaves the property. Wigs are color-matched to your skin tone, and makeup palettes are standardized so that every Cinderella looks like the same Cinderella across all parks and times of the day. Even lipstick shades are specified. Tinkerbell wears a Dusty Rose by Ben Nye. Another quirky detail? Performers often have to share these wigs and costumes with others. If you're part-time, you could be using the same wig as someone who just finished the breakfast shift before you. It's a bit like community theater meets high-end fashion. And yes, everything is washed and sanitized, but you still get a sense of camaraderie when you see another performer wearing your dress. We're already 5 requirements in, and things are already pretty intense. You'd think it can't get any more demanding, right? Well, hold on tight because the next rule is about what happens when a grumpy guest tests your patience. We've made it through the training camp, the no tattoo policy, the secret identities, and constant improvisation, but the last 2 rules might be the wildest of all. If your cheeks aren't already sore, they will be after this one. Number 6. Smiling until it hurts. Let's talk about the most obvious yet incredibly challenging requirement: the ability to smile constantly. It sounds silly, after all, being happy is part of the job description, but can you imagine holding a cheery grin for 4 to 6 hours straight? That's kinda what princesses are expected to do. As the Disney Dreamer article puts it, being a Disneyland princess means you must be able to smile nonstop for hours. Your cheeks burn, your jaw aches, and yet you still have to look like you've just met your best friend. No matter how sweaty, tired, or frustrated you are, that smile can never falter because a 4-year-old Ariel fan doesn't care how humid it is. She wants to see the princess of her dreams. When I spoke to one former performer, she told me that she practiced smiling in the mirror for weeks before her audition. She even did smile workouts to strengthen her cheek muscles. She said the first week on the job was brutal. By the end of her shift, her cheeks were shaking. She'd step backstage, massage her jaw, and then head back out with another smile. Over time, it became second nature, but she admitted that she now unconsciously smiles in photos, even when she's not on camera. Her dentist said the constant smiling actually improved her bite. Silver lining. This rule also comes into play when things go wrong. Imagine you're in a hot, heavy costume, and a child spills ice cream on your skirt. You can't scowl or look annoyed. You smile, reassure the child, and continue the conversation as if nothing happened. Disney guests pay a premium for those magical interactions, and your smile is part of what they're paying for. So if you're practicing at home, remember, it's not just about lifting the corners of your mouth. It's about smiling with your eyes, projecting warmth and sincerity, and doing it for hours. Are your cheeks cramping just thinking about it? Smiles are important, but what if I told you Disney even controls how you write your name? Get ready for the most meticulous requirement yet. Number 7. The perfect autograph. If you've ever waited in line for a character meet and greet, You know that one of the highlights is getting your autograph book signed. But have you ever noticed that every belle across every park signs her name in the exact same cursive swirl? That's not magic, it's training. Every princess performer must learn and perfect the autograph for their character. They practice it repeatedly until they can recreate it flawlessly, even when a wriggling toddler is tugging at their skirt. The consistency is so strict that one former Mulan performer admitted in an interview that she accidentally signed Mulan on restaurant receipts because it became such a habit. Think about that for a second. Signing the name hundreds, if not thousands of times a day gets so ingrained that you forget your own signature. Disney does this because they know kids will compare autographs in their books, and those signatures often become treasured keepsakes. If one autograph looks sloppy or different, parents, actually kids, might question whether they met the real princess. During training, you're given a stack of practice sheets with the signature printed faintly on them. You trace it over and over until muscle memory kicks in. Trainers watch your hand position and guide you on the pressure and flourish. It's almost like calligraphy class in high school, but with higher stakes. If your autograph isn't up to standard, you don't go on stage. It's that simple. So if you're dreaming of being Aurora, start practicing that delicate looping A now. The autograph rule is part of Disney's obsession with consistency, along with a strict makeup palette, bar-coded gowns, and identical wigs. The signature ensures that the princess you meet in California looks and feels exactly like the princess you meet in Florida. It's an impressive feat of brand control, but it also underscores how much detail is expected of performers. Becoming a Disney princess is not just about dressing up and smiling for photos. It's a serious job with strict guidelines designed to protect the integrity of beloved characters. You need to fit a precise height and size window, guard your identity like a secret agent, and erase any individual marks that might break the illusion. You'll undergo intense training to perfect your voice, accent, and mannerisms, and you'll follow a detailed beauty regimen so that you match every other performer down to the lipstick shade. You'll master improvisation and people skills to handle awkward guests, all while smiling for hours. And yes, you'll become so good at signing your character's name that you might just forget your own. These requirements may seem strange, but they're part of why Disney experiences feel so seamless. When a child meets Belle at breakfast and Belle again at the parade, she'll never question whether they're different people, and that's the real magic. It's a bit like being a part of a secret society where attention to detail is paramount, but it also highlights how much labor and discipline go into creating those fleeting moments of joy for guests. So, what do you think? Would you be willing to fit into a rigid height bracket, keep your job a secret, give up your tattoos, and practice calligraphy just for the chance to wave at guests as Snow White? Let me know in the comments which requirement surprised you the most, or if you've ever auditioned for Disney yourself. I'd love to hear your stories. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the strange world of Disney princess requirements, make sure to like this video, share it with your fellow Disney fans, and subscribe for more behind-the-scenes secrets. I've got plenty more insider tips coming, from hidden menu items to the best times to watch parades, and don't forget to check out the next video on the screen. And trust me, you don't want to miss it. Your adventure is just beginning.